Nerd reactor, roll out.
What's up, everybody? John here, and it's time to talk about Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the sequel to the first one, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton. And in this sequel, Michael Keaton is back as Beetlejuice. Tim Burton is back to direct this film, and my initial thoughts for this is that Beetlejuice is quirky, funny, and weird, and Tim Burton brings back the magic and nostalgia. Michael Keaton does not miss a beat, and it's as if he time traveled to the future right after wrapping up the first Beetlejuice film. And yeah, there's so much to like about this movie, especially with a lot of the characters, the performances, and just like the fun story that they have with these characters, the special effects, and the directing by Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. Let's start with Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Yeah, like I said, does not miss a beat. He is the same Beetlejuice that we know and love from the previous film, politically incorrect, just like a gross dude that loves to scare people, and he's out for numero uno himself. And just like in the first movie, you had the setup of the family, and then something happens, and then Beetlejuice shows up later, and so it's kind of like that tease, and then Beetlejuice, and then when Beetlejuice shows up, you're like, yes, and it's that same feeling again. And Winona Ryder, she's back as Lydia, and what I liked about this is that, you know, there are some movies where you have the character that you know and love, and then later on, they're like completely different. I'm not going to mention what that movie is, but this one, Lydia, you know, she's like a goth teenager, and so she grows up to become this kind of like a medium, and so now she's kind of like a goth medium. So it's that path that I like. I like this this new role for her, that occupation that she has for this. Very fitting of who Lydia is. And Catherine O'Hara, she's at her element here. Like, she's just having a fun time in this movie as Delia. And it just feels like it's more like now Lydia and Delia, were like at odds in the first film, but here they understand each other. And Delia kind of gives Lydia crap like, now you know what it feels like, because of Lydia now having a daughter, Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega. And Jenna Ortega, she's played Wednesday, she's played all these like roles that are just very like goth, like the goth girl. And for this one, she's different because now her mom is more goth than she is, and she's the one that's actually trying to be the person that's kind of weirded out by what her mom's doing, and she's trying to be normal. So in this role, Jenna Ortega as Astrid is trying to be normal in school, and it's a very different take from what I know of from her as Wednesday. But yeah, with this, I really like the family dynamic with Catherine O'Hara, with Winona Ryder, and Jenna Ortega. And it's just a lot of fun just seeing them interact with each other. And just Winona Ryder, I just love her so much as Lydia. And then also, Willem Dafoe, I really liked him in this one. He plays a ghost detective. And when he was alive, he was a B-movie actor. And so Willem Dafoe as this character, I feel like this is the role that he was born to play. It's just very exaggerated and very just fun to watch, just to see this guy like, oh yeah, I used to be a B-movie actor, or I used to be like an action star, and look at my posters and all that. And he just got that face too. It's just he knocks his role out of the park. And I have to talk about the score. Danny Elfman, he's back, and I don't know if there are like maybe different arrangements for this, but you still gotta have that classic Beetlejuice theme, and that theme is back, and it just gives me goosebumps. It's like you can just watch part 1 and 2 back to back, and you'll just feel right at home. And so in the first movie, you have the Harry Belafonte song of the Jump in the Line, a very iconic classic. This one, there is a song that they do for Beetlejuice, and I don't think this is gonna be, like, for me, like, not as good as the first time when I saw the Jump in the Line performance. It's still fun, but different. But I think the Harry Belafonte one was just, you can't top that. And also the special effects for this movie, it's Oh, I love it. Like, especially, for example, you've seen in the trailers, the worm, the sandworm, like they captured that stop motion look. And then there are other special effects in this movie where just grotesque things are happening. And, just the whole afterlife, the netherworld stuff, it just felt very practical. And it's as if, like, they, made this and just made all the disgusting stuff, or even like the creepy stuff, just practical effects. And I really like that. I appreciate that. And I think, like, if you see it, you'll be like, oh man, that's really cool, especially with the just the way the lighting is and just the afterlife and all that. But yeah, I think with this movie, Tim Burton brings the magic back. And yeah, this is like the stuff that I love from Tim Burton, because I loved his stuff when he did Beetlejuice. I even love the first Batman movie, the Edward Scissorhands, and you have Sleepy Hollow. And then you got some others where I'm like, yeah, it's okay, it's whatever. But then now with Wednesday and this one, I'm excited. And so what didn't work for me for this is the villain of Monica Bellucci. And, she's like this vengeful being just trying to go after Beetlejuice. And I think it's just the limited screen time. I wish there was more to it. But somehow it just wasn't enough for me. It just felt like she was a very, very supporting character. And I think if they just gave her a little bit more screen time in terms of her relationship with Beetlejuice, show a little bit more of that, I think that could turn things around for the movie. And also, there's a love interest for Astrid, for Jenna Ortega. And I did enjoy the first portion of the story. But then the second part, I just felt like it just kind of went nowhere. But yeah, in closing, Beetlejuice, I really enjoyed this movie. I just felt like it just continued right after the first film. Even though it's like decades later, but it still had that same charm, the same magic, the same creepy atmosphere, the special effects, the performances, with Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, Winona Ryder as Lydia. Just the quirky, the fun, the weird. I love it. And let me know what your thoughts are, when this movie comes out, on the comments below. With that said, I'm John, and I'll see you guys next time.